Taking a look at the week ahead, Brad, something that may impact the markets is this so-called unlocking of shares on the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, GBTC. And just note to viewers, Grayscale is a sister company to CoinDesk under Digital Currency Group. So, depending on what side you are on the fence, this could be a bear or bull case. So perhaps you can explain and tell us what you think may happen.
Well, I mean, I think there's been, my camera's a little off here, but there's been a lot of confusion in the dialogue. There's two different markets kind of that are related that we're talking about here. There's the market for the GBTC shares, and then there's the market for Bitcoin. And so, theoretically, the GBTC shares have been trading at a discount to the price in the underlying GBTC trust, the Bitcoin there. But the idea is that as those shares hit the market, that could put some downward pressure on the share price. But the idea is that people have borrowed Bitcoin to get into this trade in the beginning. So they borrowed Bitcoin, they delivered that to the trust. In return, they got the shares. So now, 6 months later, as they get unlocked, they would sell the shares, they get the money back, and but then they would need to actually buy back Bitcoin to repay the original Bitcoin loan that they used to start the trade. And so, JP Morgan came out with a report a while back that said that this would be bad for the shares and Bitcoin. But then a lot of crypto analysts, which we've reported on, have come out and said, well, yeah, it might be bad for the shares, but it actually could be good for Bitcoin. So, I'm going to go with kind of the bulk of our reporting here on the CoinDesk markets team, talking to crypto native analysts, and say that if all things being equal, it's probably positive for Bitcoin prices. I think it might be overblown a little bit. Again, all of these things, it's like maybe it's already priced into the market because everybody knows it's going to happen, Mm-hmm. We've been writing about it a lot.
That unlocking of shares happens Sunday, so it'll be interesting to see how the market moves over the weekend. And we'll have Michael Sonnenschein, CEO of Grayscale, on Monday on First Mover, so be sure to watch that. And in other news, something to watch out for is Square, and there's been a lot of teases coming from Square CEO Jack Dorsey about perhaps DeFi coming to Bitcoin, or Bitcoin coming to DeFi, and something that Square is working on in their Bitcoin division. Christie, what do we know about this so far?
So, last week, Square announced solid plans to build their hardware wallet for Bitcoin to make self-custody in cryptocurrency more mainstream. This week, Jack Dorsey announced they were going to create a new business focused on creating an open developer platform that will make it easier to provide non-custodial decentralized financial services. So yes, DeFi on Bitcoin. It's basically an infrastructure play to make sure that there are ways of conducting business using Bitcoin and doing it on a platform that they are going to be providing. But here's the thing is that, as Jack says in his tweet, like the new Bitcoin hardware wallet, we're going to do this in a completely in the open roadmap, open development, open source, very Bitcoin. And this is not to be confused with the Square crypto division that they already have. That is run by Steve Lee, and they get funding from Square, but they're completely independent. They choose what they want to work on, and coincidentally, what they're working on is a Lightning platform. So even Square, like they know where it is. So it's all about Lightning. So what I'm looking forward to is what's Jack going to come up with this week coming up, because we've had 2 weeks in a row of some fun Square announcements.